Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Majesty. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with Montreal Canadiens 1913-14 season going to the capital. Jeff, we're not in the NHL. We're actually in the NHA.
Yep, if anybody hasn't been following us along, this is a new thing we added with FHM10 this year. Here you can start before 1917. You can start in 1909 as the NHA. In the NHA, the forerunner to the NHL, which we are about halfway through the existence of now. Started in 1909, we're into 1913-14. This is an interesting season for a couple of reasons. One, it's the last pre-war season. It's going to be, so we're starting in 1913, played the bulk of it in 1914, and then World War I will kick off in August of 1914, in between, during the off season. So that has some implications for what happens to the league after this. The other big thing this year, this is the first year that the agreement was in place with the new Pacific Coast Hockey Association. The two leagues have kind of been at war over players for the first couple of years that the PCHA was around. And because I wasn't really paying attention in this one, we wound up, so you're losing our best goalie, Georges Vezina, to Vancouver. His contract ran out. I figured, okay, I can still, there's no free agents in this era. I can just re-sign him at the end of when the season starts. But Vancouver jumped right in and got him signed. So we've had to find backups, and we will keep trying to get him back. But I think, if I remember correctly, in the last game, yeah, he re-signed for 2 more years before the end of last season. So it's going to be a couple more years before we have another chance at that. And they've got a couple of other players that belong to us, Jeté and Jack McDonald, who's had off to a slow start with them, but has had a couple of pretty good years, and I think is Vancouver's captain right now. So we could probably use him, but we're doing reasonably well without that. But the big thing with the PCHA this year is that they are going to be playing us in the Stanley Cup final, and this is effectively the end of the challenge era for the Stanley Cup. Even in these first few years that we were playing, it was still there were still these formal challenges for the cup by teams in other leagues. Usually, I think most of the time in this era, it was the Nova Scotia League that really couldn't compete with the NHA. They'd get destroyed pretty badly whenever the series happened. So what happens is that gets replaced by a series at the end of the season, and this year will be the first one between the NHA and the PCHA champions. So that will persist until 1926. Yeah, 26. And that you can see in the game, there's a separate section for Stanley Cup playoffs. If you wondered why that's there in the historical game, that's the reason for this special series that's going to take place between the two leagues at the end of the year. But to get to that, we have to win first, and probably in tough this season. We've got a couple of great players, Newsy Lalonde and Joe Malone, which is, arguably probably the best offensive player in the league, and a guy that's in the top 3 or 4 too. So plenty of scoring. The issue is Lalonde is a little hard to get along with, and a lot of these problems on the Team Harmony screen are kind of revolving around him. There's a few other guys that have had issues as well, but basically half the team hates the other half of the team, and we've got this big clique formed of it's mostly the key guys. Malone's in there, Lalonde's in there, Clegorn, Petra, and a few others.
All right, Jeff, I'm just going to have to interrupt here for half a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Steam version did not pop up.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can kick that. I just killed it. And I'm going to give that about 10 seconds, and I'll try restarting it. I'll let you know when I do.
Okay.
And I should mention that that is the, speaking of that, Victor, that Stanley Cup series at the end of the season and be happening for the first time. That is an actual puck in the Hall of Fame that was used in the series. You can tell he knew it was an important historical artifact, because they clearly spared no expense in getting it engraved.
With a
So,
screwdriver.
yeah, I mean, pretty sure that's what it was. I mean, no, think
Yeah.
it would be hard to do the C with a screwdriver. So may have been like a pocket knife or something a little more specialized than that. But yeah, but that is a genuine 1914 Stanley Cup final puck. If you go to the Hall of Fame in Toronto, I'm not sure what part that's in. It looks like there's a trophy sitting next to it, so that might be something that's in the vault.
Wondered if it would be when you said that.
Yeah.
Jeff, just as an important note here, because it's something. Do you know what this week represents
I just
for
started up Steam again,
hockey
by the way.
history? Okay.
Hockey history, late January, can't remember. And just I'm gonna try to knock
This
down the click with the. Oh no, I've already used my intervention. So go ahead.
this is it was this week 8 years ago we started streaming together for FHM.
Oh, it's an important moment in hockey history, certainly.
Absolutely, Jeff. Come on.
Okay, so we're in the exhibition season here. I think I've got the roster pretty much set up for the season. So we will, yeah.
Just to prove the point, that's this is roughly about 416 episodes.
Good God, that many? Oh, yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
yeah. Most
Now,
weeks, yeah. I guess you're right.
yeah.
And forgot to mention, there's a new. That is the team that the big O there is the Toronto Ontarios, or the Toronto Tecumsehs last season, and we just blew them out pretty badly. Toronto finally joined up with organized hockey this year, and organized professional hockey this year, and added or 2 years ago, and added the two Toronto teams, the Blue Shirts and the Tecumsehs / Ontarios, but they're still a long way from being successful. Although this year the Blue Shirts turned it around relatively quickly. And we're actually the real life Stanley Cup champions this year. And there's actually a book about it written by former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. I've got it's sitting on my shelf somewhere near me, but I can't remember what the title of it is. Do you know offhand?
Sorry, it's on who? Sorry.
Stephen Harper wrote that book on the Toronto Blue Shirts and how they became the sort of eventually led to the Leafs.
All right, let's see here.
But
great game.
yeah, that's the one. And just getting through the preseason games. Looks like we're doing okay so far. And okay, that's good news. Montreal Wanderers, who are probably the second or third best team in the league, we knocked them off pretty easily. Season preview. Oh, that's a bad sign. We're not even mentioned as a contender. Oh, we're a possible challenger, a dark horse.
A dark horse in a 6-team league.
Well, so yeah, it's a nice way of saying the fourth best team. Oh, and we are into the regular season, so I've got to cut down the roster here and got a couple of injuries.
Yeah, to be fair, you have the worst harmony of anybody in the league. So.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the month turns over, I'm going to have to do something about that. Well, at least start trying to do something about that. Yeah, I've got a feeling some of these guys might get claimed by one of the Toronto teams.
They should if they're terrible.
Yeah, I mean, well, they got one of their better players last season. But let's go with this lineup, and let me just take a quick look at the training to make sure I haven't. Yeah, see, I've got 19 bonus points here. I can spread the training around a little bit more than that.
All right, we are actually live finally on Steam as well.
There we go. Yeah, so we're live in all three places, Steam and our two Twitch channels. So if you see us talking to somebody and don't see it in your chat, that's why. And just spreading the triangle, I'm trying to... Okay, that'll be the trading for the season, and the home opener against, or actually the opener, not the home opener, it's in Toronto, against the Blue Shirts, and a young goalie named George Hainsworth, who will go on to much better things, but tonight he loses 7-3, and New Zealand opens the season with a 4-goal game.
Nice.
But we lost our captain, Jack Laviolette, back tightness 1 to 2 weeks. Not great, so I'm going to have to swap in Lorenzo Bertrand, I guess. Yeah, good enough for the first spot. Should mention we're playing with a sort of house rule in this one. And Poulin's out day-to-day with a black eye, so he can sit for one game and go in with Seguin. We're only allowing ourselves to sign or trade for players who are either French Canadian or from Quebec. So just add a little bit of a challenge to it. That's where the training camp report came in late. But fairly good news. A couple of guys headed downhill, but the younger guys are improving, and not quite into 1914 yet. Quebec Bulldogs, 5-3 loss to Quebec. That's not good. They're sort of around the same level we're at right now. They were a little late joining the league, but we should really be ahead of them in the annual player poll. So Lalonde get mentioned as best skater. Peter's the fastest. Joe Malone being called the most overrated. That seems questionable. But Jack Laviolette, our captain, who's injured at the moment, most underrated. Okay, monthly budget. I can start spending a little bit more on team morale, and I'll leave scouting where it is. No tournaments to scout. Oh, fantastic. I go to fix the click, and it's getting larger now, so... I mean,
Well, at some point, it might just envelop the whole team, and then Harmony will be fine. Is that even possible?
Okay, it looks like I got Fred Strikeoff, but I don't. No, I think. No, I think the way I set it up, it's. It can't
They'll always
do that.
be isolating and bullying one guy.
Yeah. I mean, with the size of rosters, you'll get up to like, if it gets up to 10 plus people, it'll basically be that. And we got the Ontario's, the other Toronto team now. It was off to an 0-2 start, and we cruised an easy 10-1 win. So the players may all hate each other, but at least they're productive when they're playing. And let's see, Poulin is healthy again. I probably missed that last time, but I can put him back in. Laviolette, day-to-day. And now against the defending cup champion, or defending league champions, Ottawa Senators, well, effectively the cup champions too. And we get crushed 9-2.
Jeff, the title of this is Going to the Capital. You're supposed to beat Ottawa.
Okay, Laviolette is at least healthy now, so we can get him just in time because Corbeau gets hurt. So Bertrand goes out for Laviolette, and Corbeau actually can swap with Holden for one game. And let's see if we can keep winning against the Wanderers. And 9-5 win. We got their number for some reason. I think they're on paper they're a little bit better than us. But we keep beating them, and it looks like Ottawa is undefeated. And Corbeau is back. So Holden out, Corbeau in. I'll take a quick look at the depth chart now. Yeah, everything looks okay here. Oh, Veson's actually rated above those other guys, but I'm trying to get Boucher to improve rapidly. And as far as playoffs for the NHA goes, I think we get a playoff between the top two teams at the end of the season. But they were kind of inconsistent in the first few years. There's a 9-5 win over Ottawa, and second line winger now, Art Bernier is, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Ooh,
That stings.
yeah.
What can I do here?
Keep going back to see if it's going to look better.
No, I got to call some. I didn't have a natural right wing there, so I'm going to call Carey up and put him in for Bernier, and Bernier can go on the injured list and sit at home with some ice on that for a couple of weeks.
I don't know if sitting would be the best choice.
Well, stand, lie. And it's another easy game against the Ontarios with them out of the lineup. 9-2 win. Collect our free 2 points against the Toronto teams and back for another try against Ottawa. Bernier's already ready to return to practice. Don't rush it, dude. And now somebody else. So Peter gets suspended for only one game. So I can just swap in Seguin with him. And I'm going to just do on the, if you make changes on the pregame screen like this, they don't affect your lines permanently. So if you just want to do a quick change for one game like that, it's the best place to do it. And Ottawa knocks us off again, 6-2. So I'm not sure we're getting by these guys. And Peter is unsuspended. And we have the Wanderers yet again. Peter can go back into the lineup and take a quick look at the scoring so far. Yeah, Lalonde is having a fantastic year. 21 points in 8 games, running away with the scoring lead. And pretty good down the roster. Yeah, the goaltending is what it is. It's without Vezina around, that's going to be, it's not quite a weakness because Lassure, despite the only 2-star rating, is one of the sort of middle ranking goalies in the league. And okay, Montreal, the Wanderers knock us off 8-2. And we have slipped back to 4th place. Yeah, back behind Quebec. I'd really like to at least get that 2nd overall spot and see if we can pull off an upset in the playoffs. And there we go, 10-0 shutout win over Toronto, the Toronto Blue Shirts. And we get the other Toronto team, the Ontarios now. Should be a similar result, I would think. Rushing through this a little bit because we're actually sort of a bit behind schedule on this. I want to see if we can get part of a 2nd season in tonight. And 6-2 win, a little closer than the previous games, but still not a big challenge for us.
Good.
Yeah, solid development, continuing along. Corbeau is coming nicely. How many times? Let's see if we can gradually working that click down to nothing. Boucher, well, long way from nothing, but trading deadline already.
It's going to take years.
But of course, as soon as I do that, it's actually, I think we've got the wrong message in there. It said it's growing by 1, but that's actually 3 guys added to that. I got to check on that. And trading deadline. Nothing. So I know we're in 3rd place. Is there anybody interesting on the trading block that matches what we can trade for? Hal Winkler, I believe is from Manitoba. Yeah, Altona, Manitoba.
Which I believe we saw before, yeah.
Yep. So he's available, but doesn't really meet our rules. The legendary Hobie Baker, who hasn't really been able to crack Ottawa's roster.
What if you just shot Newsy Lalonde? I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm just saying
Yeah.
shop him and see
I'm
what you
just
get.
checking if any of the, Stanley is, these guys are both from Ontario, so not really. Looks like I'm going to assume Duford is at least partly French, so he's the best guy who really fits our house rule, is only 1.5 stars. But, I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. I can try shopping him. And won't put any requirements on it. And all I get back is I can get the number 1 pick from one of the Toronto teams, which will either be 1 or 2 overall, presumably.
That might not be a bad idea to look at the end of the year before the draft, depending on who's coming available.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who'd show who is. Well, we can.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, not looking like very much.
Is it a 20-year-old draft this year? I can't remember.
Looks like it.
Oh, no, must be 18. I think I've got set to 18 for those. Oh, yeah, no, that's looking... Oh, wait, I've only seen the goalies. Keats, Red Dutton, Rich Noble, good player. Yeah, nobody that's really... some decent players, but nobody that's worth giving up Lalonde for, even if Lalonde is a problem behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see anybody else on that trading block list, so I think we'll just go for now. Yeah, Bernier's almost healthy again, but I'll give Carey 1 more game. And 3-1 win over Quebec, that's better. Solidifies our grip on 3rd place, and Bernier almost back yet, not quite. Should be another easy win over one of the Toronto teams. Yep, 11-3 as the Blue Shirts go to 0-13.
Oof.
And Bernier is healthy again. And Carey had, Carey had a point a game while he was up. Take a chance and sit Seguin back down, and we'll just keep Perry on the roster, not in the lineup yet. Oh, looks like Montreal the Wanderers have actually slipped ahead of Ottawa. They must have beaten them a couple of times. So that race for the top is going to be a little tighter than anticipated. I thought Ottawa was going to be the clear-cut winner, but Wanderers beat us 7-6 in overtime, and there is no overtime, no point for an overtime loss in this era. So that's 4-point game for us. Decarie is now out. 1 to 2 weeks. Can Carey play center? Bernier can play center. So what I'll do is put Bernier in for Decarie and Carey in for him, and that should put Carey in the 3rd line and Bernier in the 2nd. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, another big game against Ottawa. Oh, no, I don't want to delay treatment on him. Not that big of a deal. Let's get him healthy. And really need to win here. And we get a loss, 4-1.
Disappointing.
And the media doesn't like Sprague Claycorn. He's one of our better young players, so I'm going to vigorously defend that. And I should mention here, I found a little bug in the way the GM's relationship with the media is handled. That's going to deteriorate over time a little too much, just because I had a couple of numbers wrong in the initial design, or at least whatever the release version of the design. So that'll be fixed in the next update. Right now it tends to go downhill faster than it should. And we definitely need to win against Quebec, or we're going to be in big trouble here. 5-2 win. That's good. And Cleghorn, despite the criticism, gets a couple of goals. And another free win against the Toronto team. Blue shirts this time. Who are now, they won a couple of games, 2-14. They must have had a back-to-back against the Ontarios. And they managed to put up 5 goals on us. So only an 8-5 win.
Only.
Let's see. New Zealand Land running away with the scoring lead. He's up 7 points on Punch Broadbent of the Wanderers. And a couple of Ottawa guys, Petrie Malone. So our first line is all in the top 10 and 1, 2, and 3 in goals. But we're 5 points back of Ottawa. How many games we got left here? Oh, 3 games left. So, yeah, that's not good. We definitely, if we don't get a win in this one against Ottawa, I think we're done. No, 5-3 win. Joe Malone for a start with a couple of points. Cleghorn got hurt, though. Only day-to-day. But we're still 3 points back. I don't think we're catching them.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, and is Cleghorn yet? Oh, Carey's hurt as well. Great. So Cleghorn has to go out for Bertrand, and Carey. Dick Curry is healthy again, so I can put him back into that spot, and Carey for Bernier. And can we get a win when we desperately need it? Nope, 5-3 loss, and I think that knocks us out of the playoffs.
Darn.
And I'm just going to trim back our spending a little bit, as we're not really going to need it because we're out. I can side playoff scouts there, and the click gets even bigger. Virtually the entire team at this point. And who did I get rid of that time? I managed to get Joe Malone out of it. That's good, at least. Our second best player.
Hooray.
And we have this nothing game. Yeah, nothing game at the end of the season because we can't go up or down in the standings. It's going to be a Montreal-Ottawa playoff series. I might as well throw Sammy Bear, the backup, in for the last game of the season. And we come away with an 8-4 win. So pretty typical, big win over a Toronto team. Top line gets, well, actually that was Poulin on the second line that got the points. We did get Buck Boucher hurt, hopefully not serious. Well, dislocated shoulder, which would be bad if the season wasn't over. And no, not delaying treatment because we're done.
Dun, dun, dun.
And the award nominees, so only the MVP and top goalie are handed out. DeLon gets an MVP nomination, and Lasseur doesn't get one for best goalie. Oh, we're up for best coach somehow. And there you see very quickly the 2-game series. It's 2 games total goals. So Ottawa beats Montreal 15-9. And now oh, that's weird. Why is it showing Stanley Cup playoffs starting on December 19th? Have I got that set up wrong? I have to see. Or did I get the year wrong? Was this not the first year of it?
Yeah.
No, it was the first year, but I may have done something wrong and I set it up wrong in the game, though. So that puck obviously was from the real series.
Did the NHA
I
play a series by themselves before rather than give it up to the
No, because it
um
was
what was
Toronto played
Victoria? Yeah,
Victoria in the first year. Yeah, actually, I hadn't noticed the conflicts all managed to decline over time, so that's good. It's just that quick. We got to wear it down, so the team is getting at least back to normal that way. Oh, expiring contracts. I think I covered most of these. Don't want to resign Holden. Do need to resign Poulin. Because I definitely can't let these get into the off season because the PCHA will grab these guys.
that's never happened before.
No, not at all. And I think that's all of them. I'm going to let Holden go to free agency just because I'm at 25 contracts right now. And I don't want to actually do it this way. Bouchard, do I resign him? Yeah, he's young. Okay, so we'll open up a few contract spots. And got all of them re-signed. That's good. Oh wait, I think it may work now. It's still showing December 1914, but we've got the scouting screen showing a May start. So I'm not sure what's wrong there. Oh, great, off-ice incident. And the click rose again.
Oh, lovely.
I will not make a comment on this, and keep trying to knock that back down, but it's slow going. Yeah, something's definitely wrong with the Stanley Cup there. That should have happened.
Well, that's why we beta test, Jeff.
I'm just wondering if this is something we got fixed since we started this game, because we started this with the release. I think one of the first builds. I'll have to check on that. Okay, and at least our contract was expended. Oh, we actually got Lalonde out of the quick last time, so that's probably good news. I'll renew a couple of our assistants. And the award ceremony, Lalonde does get the MVP with 50 points in 20 games, as he should deserves. Hugh Lehman of Ottawa, whoops. Charles Nolan of Montreal, and okay, I think we ran out of staff, I guess, and the game has generated a Chinese coach for the Montreal Wanderers. So I got to do something, take a look at how many free agent staff we've got at the early years.
Okay, that's interesting.
And 27 points to finish the season. Keep focused on coaching to improve the players.
Not worried about your self-preservation?
I put points in that before, so I think I'm okay there.
Famous last words.
Okay, the owner wasn't thrilled with us. How is our job security? And let's see, we can get most of a second season in this week. Good. Now, job security is solidly in the blue, so no issues there. Fans are moderately happy. And Team Harmony has some issues, so we've made some improvements there. Oh, and the quick is down to 4 guys. Down to 3 guys now. Almost got rid of it.
Don't worry, there'll be something up for new shenanigans.
And let's see, the annual budget, that's fine. Uh, hmm. Don't have a ton of money, so I'm going to be a little careful with spending there. Oh, monthly budget too, I should have a look at. And cut that down, save some money during the off season. Oh, fantastic. The click broke up, but guess what? A new one immediately formed. And it's got Lalonde in it.
I, for one, am shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Okay, the guy is a bit of a problem. You haven't seen the previous ones. Mentioned that Lalonde at the start of this game in 1909, he was just coming off a suspension for beating up a goal judge.
Are we putting that in the game for a suspension reason?
Assaulting off-ice officials. I've seen it happen in a junior game. And a few guys getting cut loose from their contracts, but nothing particularly significant. Free agent center, does it have anything? Potential backup goalie. How many contracts are we at right now? Only 22, but I've got draft picks coming too. So let's see what's in the rookie draft. Like we said before, Reg Noble is probably the obvious pick there. And the Toronto Shamrocks, they're now the Shamrocks. Not the Tecumsehs, not the Ontarios, the Shamrocks now. I'm assuming with lovely green uniforms, so they get Reg Noble with the first pick. Art Gagne to the blue shirts with the second one. I don't know if that's going to be a great pick. This is kind of a weak group this year. Shorty Green, who when he was older, led a walkout in the middle of the playoffs that ultimately led to the Hamilton Tigers being moved to New York and becoming the Americans in the offseason after the player walkout. And this is our pick. Not a lot here. Ty Arbor. Even vaguely French? Nope. Tay, Ontario. Gibson from Quebec, maybe? Nope.
Kenora, that's pretty much the same. Actually, would it even be Kenora? No, Kenora is still at this time, yeah.
No, Kenora, that's
I'm thinking
totally the wrong end. That's like
no, I was thinking Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
For a different reason. But I'm like, would that still be a thing?
Okay, oh wait, there we go. It's not worth it to violate our house rule just for that questionable amount of an improvement, so I will spend the pick on the Frenchest guy I can find, which is Marcel Beliveau.
The Frenchest guy. Not the Frenchiest, the Frenchest. Sounds like he's a mustard.
Okay, and just jumping ahead there.
Maybe it's time to trade away some picks.
Now we got a Rivard. French enough.
Did you check to see if he was from Quebec?
No, the rule is French or Quebec.
Keeps expanding, huh?
No. It's been that all the way along. It is.
Sure. By the way, check the what free agent staff are available.
See, one of these guys is from Quebec. Probably not even going to sign him, but I'll take him.
Yes, the very French Glenn Smith.
He was playing in the Quebec League, Quebec Junior League. Oh, no, he wasn't. He was in Ontario. Okay, so I won't even bother signing him.
Sort by height. Find someone freakishly tall for this time.
Freakishly tall for this time is 6 feet, apparently.
I know. Yeah. Well, there's
Well,
a
I do see
third.
one. Well, Jimmy Waugh from Quebec. Speaking of Waugh, did you see that Islanders coaching change coming?
Uh, Not shocked that it happened. Lane
I'm
Lambert hadn't exactly been getting it done.
yeah, kind of
I
surprised who they
mean,
went with,
yeah, I'm a little surprised who they went with. But
that's Lou. He knows what he's doing, I guess.
I'm not blown away. Lute wants to try and get one more Stanley Cup while he's still in the business at age 81. So I'm just really excited to see if he goes like full on crazy like he was before. And maybe we get like the pulling the goalie with 10 minutes left.
Entertaining to watch, if nothing else. Oh
Not
man,
saying he will, but I'm just curious if it happens.
yeah, we just got nothing from draft picks this year. I know Seguin, who I didn't offer a contract to, looks like he is signed with somebody out west. Oh, the New Portland Rosebuds, first American team that we see in this game.
La Portland Rosebuds.
Looks like Waugh is the only one really worth offering a contract to. And hopefully at least knock off that. Oh, Laviolette's in it, so I can't reduce the click with him there, but at least I can get rid of some of the conflicts. So I've got to wait for him to go out naturally. And let's see, who can I call up? Vezina comes up. That is George Vezina's brother, who apparently hasn't been able to convince his brother to come back to us.
Oh, that's not too much of a surprise.
And another shot at knocking that click back. Oh no, keep forgetting. Can't do that. Oh, I must have already used the intervention for this month. Got to get to September.
Well, I mean, you're passing a historical event here now.
Oh yeah, August. Which day was it that it kicked off? When did the
Oh,
Archduke get assassinated? It was this week, I think. So Franz Ferdinand has been shot in Sarajevo, and the various European powers are going off to war now.
weirdly, Wikipedia is saying July 28th, but that's not what I would say.
It took a few weeks to get everything going, so maybe that is.
Let's see.
I'm sure. I mean, Wikipedia is generally credible about that sort of thing.
I know. Canadian War Museum says August 1914. What does Britannica say? Britannica says July 28th, 1940. Maybe that was the day he got assassinated.
The two Toronto teams making a small trade.
June 28th,
Yeah,
1914, he was assassinated.
See, it looks like the Stanley Cup is functioning correctly for this game. I don't know why it didn't come in right in 1914. We're going to have to check that. We're slowly rolling around to the start of the regular season.
Okay, here we
And
go.
now Carey's in another off-ice incident, and everybody hates him.
Okay, Jeff. According to Britannica, going back here. June 28th, 1914. He was assassinated And then William II went on a cruise on July 6th after, they started declaring intentions. When he returned from his cruise on July 27th, he found out how Serbia replied, and on July 28th, bombing started.
Oh, Kaiser Wilhelm. I thought you were
Yeah.
trying to figure out who William II was.
Well, it's still,
Okay.
well, it's William, but Wilhelm's the German way of doing it. But
Is that how Britannica does his name?
well, I mean, Wilhelm is what? He was a grandchild of Victoria.
Grand nephew, I think.
Yeah, there's some connection there, so that wouldn't surprise me.
And now we got
Yeah,
another click
okay.
forming.
So then, yeah, okay. Great Britain doesn't technically get involved until what is it? Somebody gets Great Britain, which involves Canada, doesn't get involved until Belgium gets in, which is
Yeah.
August 4th.
And which has happened at this point. We're up to November 20th, 1914, so all sorts of ugly things have happened at this point. Battle of Mons, I think Verdun is coming up.
I was going to say Ypres is coming pretty quick.
Not
First
till
battle of
1915,
Ypres.
isn't it?
Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. First gas attack was the Battle of Ypres, I believe.
Yeah, 15, I think.
Yeah, April
my-
22nd, 15.
My
Yeah, okay.
grandfather, the guy who we were playing as GM head coach here, his cousin was killed in 1916. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was after the battle. It was like when it was supposedly in a quiet sector.
Yes. Well,
And we got
again,
now Petro, another fringe player involved in an off-ice incident. So we got even
I
more
mean,
problems.
Jeff, you want to sit here and talk about World War One for a while? We can absolutely do that. I'll happily do that. Like, I love the fact that the Canadians trained and then went over to England and then met with the British officers, and the British officers were just like, No, we're going to train more because you guys are not ready."
Our Minister of National Defense was insane, so that was a
Yes.
bit of a problem, and insisted on doing some of
And
the
then
training for the troops personally.
and then gave all the contracts to his buddies, which gave everybody bad guns,
Yeah, the
bad
Ross rifle.
material.
The Ross is actually a decent rifle, just not something you'd want to be carrying in the trenches.
It's a decent rifle, but it jams consistently. I said it was actually preferred by a lot of snipers.
Yeah, they came out with a sniper version of it. I think that might have been after the war. You can still get them occasionally. They show up in gun shows. Let's see. Well, it probably isn't going to start with us. And we should be coming up on the exhibition season soon.
Yes, but it was the Canadians who survived the gas attack because they didn't move. Because the Canadian
See,
troops
why are we
were.
showing Stanley Cup? And yeah, now it's starting showing the correct date here, and there's something weird going on with it there. Oh, we got one click breaking up and another one forming.
Awesome. The Canadian contingent had people who
Just to
understood
clarify here,
the
we're
gas.
talking about the Canadian Army in World War One, not the actual Montreal Canadiens. Did not go over to fight the war.
Okay, point of order, there was not actually a Canadian army. There was a Canadian Expeditionary Force,
Yes.
which fought under the British Expeditionary Force.
Yeah.
And they were mixed in with troops up until the Battle of Vimy Ridge in 1917, when the Canadian Expeditionary Force got its own contingent, was in control of itself.
Okay. And finally, we're to the start of the exhibition season. And I'm not going to make too many changes over the lineup last year. I'm just having a quick scan through here to see if any players see Lesueur is continuing to go down. We've got to do something about that goalie situation soon.
Almost like we need George Vezina. We should probably try and sign him.
That would be a good idea at the end of this year, assuming Vancouver doesn't sign him again before the season ends.
Man, they're smart. Why would anyone not sign him?
And Fred Strike has been our second, third line center for most of this game. Looks like he's finally starting to decline, so he will start the season not playing for us and possibly not even on the roster. And we do get an 8-6 win over the Wanderers to start the exhibition season.
I think maybe we talked about this before, but Jeff
Oh.
just because I'm curious and if you know the answer to this. What term did the Germans use towards the Canadian forces?
I do not
What
remember.
what became famous term used
Became famous
towards
term?
Canadian forces? Yes, the Germans used one particular word.
Is it something you can repeat?
Yes,
Actually, wait, I gotta fix it.
it's something made famous 60 years later.
You're gonna have to tell me.
Well, think 60 years after 1917. What happened?
1977?
Yeah. Somebody out there watching right now, they're live or on YouTube is now screaming at the video.
No, you got me. What is it?
What famous geeky thing happened in 1977?
Star Wars.
Ah, exactly.
So what
Star
does that
Wars.
have to
You are
do with?
correct.
So
Who
what?
are the soldiers in the Star Wars?
The stormtroopers?
Exactly.
They called the Canadians that? It's
Yes.
uh,
They called the Canadian stormtroopers.
Sturmtruppen, but
Again,
that's really more of a German term for something that they did late in the war. I didn't know that they'd
yeah,
used that word for
they
Canadians.
they actually hated the Canadians because they were so vicious in World War One. And they knew wherever they went, again after Vimy Ridge, Canada never lost a battle. So wherever they knew the Canadians were, they were scared. In World War Two, again, just because the British and Americans would actually dress up dead guys as Canadians in Canadian full military garb and then leave bad intelligence because to mess with the Germans.
Okay, this is not a
So
good way to kick off the season. We lost 6-5 in overtime to the Blue Shirts.
that's terrible.
We've lost to a Toronto team. That's not good. And the training camp development, I got to check the training again. Well, a few things moving up, but I'm rushing this a
A
little
lot
bit.
going down.
Bonuses still are about where they should be,
I think we
but
need a goaltender.
there's just not a lot out there. Other than, yes, I know the guy that we let get away.
I don't believe I had any part of that.
And now we got an injury. Oh, now we got 3 injuries. Even better.
Awesome. Good thing we had a strong draft class that's going to help us out.
Okay, Curry goes out for strike. And Poulin goes out for Bernier. Now, are any of these guys day to day, day to day, day to day? Well, that's good news. But now we've got to play Quebec with 3 regulars out of the lineup. And are we going to go on 2? And ouch. We get crushed 6-1 by Quebec. And
The good news is they'll be out of the league soon.
1915, league survey. Apparently, Joe Malone isn't overrated anymore, so that's good news. What were you going to say?
I said the good news is Quebec will be out of the league soon.
Not until we go to the NHL, I don't think.
I know. So I'm saying you have something to look forward to.
Uh,
Them disappearing out of the league.
and the monthly attempt at. There we go. Got rid of the new click, and we've still got the old one, although the other players are hating each other slightly less now.
You know, you were playing better when you had more infighting. Just saying.
True. Are there any goalies on the trading block now? None at all. Pud Glass is on the trading block.
I don't know that name.
Not enough people naming their kid Pud anymore.
Yeah, I wonder why. Why can't we find anyone named Pud?
Like a perfectly reasonable game. And the newly renamed Toronto Shamrocks. Their lovely green uniform.
I actually really like that uniform.
It's not terrible. I mean, there's worse. But 6-2 win, so if we finally get a win this year. Oh, and naturally, the way the oh, great. And George Carey, for the third time, has been involved in an off ice incident.
Time to ship him out of town.
I'm going to agree with the criticism. And I think you're probably right here. He's just causing too many problems, so.
Now, I'm curious because I don't know the answer to this. Was there actually trading between the leagues at this time?
I think there may have been a couple of cases of it. I don't think there's anything preventing it. Just can't really do it in the game.
No, no, I was just genuinely curious if that was a thing that happened back then.
And let's see, the Blue Shirts want to give us Eddie Carpenter, who's an American.
Ah, good Frenchman from Hartford.
And Jimmy Gibson. Oh, the Kenora guy. It was the guy we were looking at in the draft. And former WWE wrestler John Morrison being offered Toronto. He's from Selkirk, Manitoba, so nope, can't get him either.
Could try doing a manual trade. You haven't done one of those yet on this stream.
Yep. Let me just fix everything here. Everybody's back from the injuries at least.
If you want to see some moves and trades in current modern day NHL, we recently posted a 2-hour long episode.
As Adam just kept going and going, wouldn't shut up.
As in our as our Pittsburgh Penguins game.
Okay, let's. But that was a good idea. Let's go back to the trades transfer screen, and it was Ottawa and the Blue Shirts and the Shamrocks. So let's see if we can get a draft pick out of, say, the Blue Shirts. For Carey. Try for their second rounder. They will never accept that offer.
I was gonna say look for somebody who's got a French player we could have who might get closer to a trade up.
Well, you can trade up one round there, but
Trade up. Just look on the Wanderers or something. See who if there's anybody on the Wanderers who's kind of equivalent.
I mean, Carey is a 2.5 stars. He's turned into a decent player, just constantly having problems with him. Then there is Bud Glass. So who's much older, but a decent player. I'm going to try it. See if they'll take it. Meanwhile, we got a game against Ottawa. And we at least pull out a tie, so we're 1-2-1 instead of being 1-3. And no way to the trade.
You could have go after Odie.
Oh, Clay Gordon's brother?
Yeah. I don't know who's playing with it this time, but
Ottawa, I think.
Offer the guy for Odie and I don't know, like a 3rd round pick. This is me just guessing, by the way.
Oh, no, he's not Ottawa.
Oh no, did he go to the West Coast?
Oh, no, he's Quebec.
I might have to give up our 1st round pick for that. Still might be worth it. Or who is he? Defense?
Right wing, but I think both brothers are kind of flexible. Okay, maybe we should go for a big deal here. We could, if I was to package Lalonde, and maybe one other guy and try for like a 6-player deal where we get 3 good players back.
Who else fits that? Ooh, Keats would be amazing to add, but I don't think hits your Quebec Quebec one, is he?
He's from Montreal.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try for Duke Keats.
So that would help us age-wise. 2 young guys.
He'll probably accept that offer. Ooh.
See if I can squeeze a draft pick out of him too.
Yeah, try first. What's the worst that happened?
I want to make this work, sis. Oh, he's willing to consider the trade without anything else added to it.
Okay, can we get anything else out of that? Because it still feels like Duke Keats is only 2-star, whereas Newsy Lalonde's already ready to go. Can you get a?
They got 2 goalies. Charlie Reed from Calgary, no go. Heck Fowler, also I think a Western guy. Saskatoon, yeah, he's not either.
Oh, Clint Benedict. Can we get Clint Benedict out of them?
Well, he's from Ottawa. I mean, close enough.
We say he's from Hull. Just add him to the trade.
Gatineau. You're not supposed to call it Hull anymore.
No, what is it? What are you supposed to call it then?
It's Gatineau.
Is it?
Yeah,
I say Gatton. I was gonna say Gat. I don't know. Isn't Hull still a team in the
No, it's
Quebec?
Gatineau. The Olympics.
Quebec. What is it? What was that league now? The Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League.
Yeah, I've got to change that name in the database. Okay, I got something here. Billy Coutu.
Did you try adding him? See if you got it or not.
No, I'm going to try.
Oh, we don't want a goaltender. We don't want one of the best goaltenders ever. The first guy ever to wear a mask. But okay, sure.
Okay.
Oh, we're having goaltender problems. Should we get a goaltender? No.
I'm going to have to throw Lesueur in from our end because there's no point in keeping him, and that will. See, they're not going to take that. That doesn't work.
Well, take away that first-round pick and change to a second-rounder.
No, even with the pick gone, with Benedict in, they're not going to do it.
You took away the top guy, though, from the other guy you were offering.
Yeah, but even without, okay, I gotta. It was just Lesueur, though. He's just like 1.5 stars. It's not going to bump it up enough to.
It's a well-balanced offer now.
Until I put Benedict in. And now they're not going to
accept
it.
Oh, I thought you had Benedict in.
No, I'm going to have to take.
Throw in our second-round pick.
What if I?
Would have kept the goaltenders and thrown in a second-round pick.
Okay, second-round pick, and does it help if I offer Lesueur? Excuse me, does it make it worse?
Doesn't hurt anything.
And no, see, I'm getting the response that I don't see any player that'll make this trade work. And
I'll just offer it straight up, see what happens. What's the worst that happens?
I'm going to offer the second-round picks for the next 2 years.
I'll offer the third-round pick next year.
Now that's the carry trade from the Wanderers. And we at least managed to beat the Wanderers while we're doing that. Rookie Phil Stevens, first star with a goal.
Ooh.
And Quebec says no way.
How close? But it's close to being all right. Add a third-round pick. Or can we? No, we can't, right? No, you could still add a third-round pick onto that. 2 seconds on a third.
Gonna go a little bigger if I give them my first. No, it's Benedict that's killing it. I'm not going to be able to do that. But if I go back to Coutu and was it their second rounder? Try that. I can take the second rounder Rounder out. Oh, and now
It
we're
says they
playing.
want Joe Malone for it.
Yeah, well, that's to guarantee the deal, but don't think we're going to need to do that. We'll actually play Gary against Quebec this game, and Quebec comes up with a 6-5 win. As long as we're in Quebec. Nope, they say no way to that deal, too.
Just
Take the draft pick out.
no, I was gonna say take. Sure. Just hit offer trade. We're actually well over the hour, but
Oh, look who's talking.
that's
Are we
fine.
like an hour over the hour,
But
Adam?
hey, you could have left at any point, but it was entertaining, and we wanted to know what would happen.
And we at least get a 6-1 win against the Blue Shirts. No, I want to get this trade out, and it's another no way. So, not giving up yet. Take a 2 out.
It's close to being out. Add your fourth round pick. No, put Coutu back. Add your fourth round pick.
I'll go with my third round, even better.
You could also add the rights to that guy who
Oh,
you
you see?
didn't.
Okay, yeah, I think this is going to work because it's getting down. Even Stevens will make that work.
Well, I say, what about the rights to the guy you drafted who you didn't care about? You're like, oh, he's not going to be worth it. The Ontario guy you accidentally drafted. 9-1 loss. Oof.
Oh, great. Just before we bring his brother in, the media's going after Sprague Cleghorn. I'm going to vigorously defend against that.
That's fine.
Okay,
You
discuss trade
bring the
again,
brother in.
but we can. What was it? Yeah,
Canadians' rights.
yeah. I'm throwing the rights to Jeté, who's playing in Vancouver, and we don't really care about. And
Yeah, I think they'll
Smith was
probably
the
accept
guy.
that offer. Yeah. I think that's going to do it. A feeling that's going to do it.
And Wanderers beat us 4-3 as we continue to struggle this year. There we go, finally accepted. So blockbuster trade. George Carey, who's consistently been a problem for us and has produced a little bit. Newsy Lalonde, best offensive player in hockey, who's actually off to a really slow start this year. Only 7 points in 9 games. Third round pick, the rights to Jeté, who's playing for Victoria. The rights to Smith, who we don't care about. In return for Sprague Cleghorn's brother Odie, Duke Keats, who should be a great player, and Billy Coutu, a tough defensive defenseman, who was actually a Canadian for quite a while.
I think that improves us now and later.
Yeah, and we're only at 24 contracts. Coutu is not waiver exempt. Going to have to move down Bertrand, who hopefully won't get picked up by one of the Toronto teams.
Can't you put him on? You can put him on the injured list for a while.
He's
And
going to
then
have to come off eventually, though.
I say you could put Strike down, who would have been the better call at 34 and has 1-star ability.
I wanted to. No, I think I want to keep the center there. Okay, what does the. Oh, I gotta see.
Cleghorn now. You don't need another center.
Cleghorn's in as a power forward. I'm just checking the rolls on the new guys.
Cleghorn's name just kills me every single time.
The
I just,
Cleghorn part or the Odie part?
well, both. I just kind of want to go into Looney Tunes. I say.
Cleghorn, not Leghorn. Okay, so actually Keats will go into the top line right away between Cleghorn and Joe Malone. Although I could move Malone over to. No, Malone's been doing fine at left wing. So, blockbuster trade. Oh, they need numbers. Odie Cleghorn wants 6, but Corbeau's already wearing that. He can have 16. No, Keats doesn't get Peter's number. And basically they all want numbers for one of my veterans. So that was our big trade deadline move.
Shocked, I tell you.
And
that was a huge trade deadline move.
We immediately celebrate that by losing 5-4 again to the Blue Shirts. We've somehow become worse than Toronto. So I'm just going to play this up the trading deadline, and we'll...
Good thing you didn't give away that first-round pick like you wanted.
Yeah, hopefully there's somebody good coming this year, because I think we're going to need it.
Are we just going full-on tank mode, Jeff?
No. Duke Keats 3 assists and a 6-4 win over the Shamrocks. Harmony. See, got rid of those two guys, and look how much better the Harmony situation is. Just problem is that Laviolette is part of one of the cliques, so he can't break up his own clique, so, yeah. And
hopefully it'll dissipate over time.
Oh, actually, Keats was in the minors for Quebec. Bump the spending up a little bit across the board.
Keats is a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
Yep. And now Sprague Cleghorn gets just a minor injury. Play this one last game because it's the game against Quebec. Oh, what does the fans done in reaction to this? Ooh, the fans are not happy.
Oh, shocker.
They went, 11 points for dumping Lalonde.
That's not actually terrible.
Oh, and the repeated off-ice incidents. Carey alone has cost us 12 fan happiness points. And then the fans were upset that we got rid of him. So George Carey personally knocked 16 points off our fan happiness score this year. So awesome. Good riddance. And here's the big game against Quebec. Let's see how the revamped team are going to do, and we wind up losing 4-3, and George Carey is the first star. Because, of course, he is. I think it's going to be that kind of a season, Adam. And now the media immediately goes after Odie Cleghorn. They hate both the Cleghorn brothers, in fact.
Were they eating chicken?
Oh, they're actually antagonistic against Sprague Cleghorn and negative against Odie. So this is, the fun thing about running a team in Montreal, this is what the press does. They love Jack Laviolette. He's the captain. They're positive towards Peter, another veteran French guy. And then they hate the Cleghorn brothers. So if that keeps up, I'm going to have to trade the Cleghorns next year for something else.
No. Cleghorns are here to stay. Trade the captain. Everything's fixed.
Yeah, just get up to the next game. And I think we'll cut it off there with us. 12 games.
Wait, I got it.
What?
Name a Cleghorn captain of the team.
Oh, do I need an assistant captain, actually? I may. Yeah, because I got rid of Lalonde. Forgot to name one. Who is the best candidate? What do you know? Sprague Cleghorn is a decent candidate. Give him A1. So first assistant. Yeah. Well, they're from Montreal, aren't they? I think the brothers are.
I want to say they're from Ottawa.
No. Sprague is from Montreal. Odie is also born in Montreal, both Montrealers. So we've revamped the team. We'll see how well that works out, but currently in 4th place and, oh God, tied with the Blue Shirts, so we may be getting passed by Toronto, so probably going to have a top three pick this year. And meanwhile, Ottawa is running away with the league lead. And we'll see with. Oh, and there we go. Look at the check out Quebec's team harmony.
Uh,
Has Lalonde and Carey screwed them up already? Oh, that's even without those two doing anything yet. They've divided into two camps. They've been basically their best players on opposite sides.
Explains why they were so willing to do a trade.
And Lalonde naturally has 5 points in his first three games with them, but
That's actually a pretty decent team, all things considered.
that's a very good team.
Just not a great defense, but
And I'm just going to take a quick look at what's happening out west because New Westminster is. I can't remember if they went out of business or they just moved to Portland. But the first American team in the game is not off to a great start, although they won 3 games at least. And yeah, Vesna is probably the best player in the PCHA, and McDonald is up there too. And see, the Stanley Cup now, it's showing up with the correct date, so maybe just a bug in that first season. We'll have to take a look at that.
or if it was already fixed, as you said.
Yeah, might have been, because we started this quite a while ago, like 2-3 updates ago. But I think we can wind it up there, Adam.
Sounds good. So thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments, and every other week on our Steam page. You can also see all of our videos archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, with streams actually going live now Saturdays, about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. Find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. Of course, all these are linked on the main menu of the game as well. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums and come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Elk Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, I think we covered everything. Still working away on the next update. Probably going to be out sometime early mid-February, so at least, realistically, probably about 3 weeks away, but I'll keep you updated on that, what's going on there. Working on adding a few things to the game, so hopefully I have some new stuff for you to do, and as well as the various fixes that we do in every update. So thanks for coming out this week. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to see where this train wreck of a season goes. But in the meantime, next week we will be back with Adam's Pittsburgh Penguins game. Where do we leave off there?
Well, we finished up everything. I'm running through the off season. I've actually made a few trades, and we'll be maybe making a few more here just at the end.
Yeah, we had some cap
after we're off the air here. Yeah, to get some cap stuff, and we'll talk about and overcap that and start the new year fresh with a young team looking towards doing something.
Okay, sounds good, and we will see you guys back in a week from now.